The Central Texas summer camp where 27 campers and counselors died in last summer's flooding will not reopen this summer.
Camp Mystic applied for an operating license from the state with plans to reopen a portion of the camp within weeks. But over the last few weeks, the family who runs the camp was confronted by families of the girls who died. Once in court during a hearing about preserving evidence, and again this week during a hearing with state lawmakers. Fox 4's Amelia Jones has reaction from those families. Amelia.
Heather, Steve, Camp Mystic wrote the decision is about the respect for the families, accountability for the public, and reverence for the memory of the lives lost. The decision comes after 2 days of intense and emotional testimony in Austin for committee hearings about the deadly July 4th flooding. As we've received reaction from state leaders and families of Heaven 27, the girls who died in the flooding, they say the Eastland family made the right decision. Camp Mystic, where 27 girls and counselors died in last summer's Central Texas floods, will not reopen for summer 2026. Initially, the camp wanted to open a portion of the property on Cypress Lake that was not damaged by the flooding and is not part of the ongoing investigation. But on Thursday, the camp withdrew its application for a license. The camp wrote part of its decision was because of the concerns expressed during the committee hearings in Austin about the investigation into what unfolded on July 4th. The state investigator laid out a detailed timeline of events, and lawmakers heard testimony from dozens of people, including parents of girls who survived and girls who did not.
Hallie waited in her cabin for hours while the lightning and thunder boomed. It filled with water around her, and then she was sucked out of a window by the raging water. Mere feet away were stairs to an upstairs 2-bedroom apartment. That higher ground could have saved her life, all of their lives.
The Eastland family, who has owned and operated Camp Mystic for generations, apologized during the hearings. Camp director Dick Eastland also died in the flood.
These girls were our youngest campers, and they're amazing counselors who we watched grow up. The world was a better place with them in it. And the anger at us for not being able to keep them safe feels completely reasonable. I have no excuses.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick helped lead the charge in calling for the Eastland family to not reopen this summer. He spoke with me on Thursday about the camp's decision.
So I'm pleased that they made this decision. It's the right decision all the way around. But Amelia, it's not something that you celebrate as a victory because these families have still lost their children, 27 families.
Reaction to the news poured in from families of Heaven's 27, the girls who died in the flooding. 2 of those families are from North Texas, the Pecks and the Bonners. Eloise Peck and Lila Bonner attended Bradfield Elementary School in Highland Park. A light post decorated in their favorite colors is one way the community continues to honor them. The Pecks wrote in part, quote, Camp Mystic's decision not to operate this summer is a recognition that this community needs time to grieve, to reflect, and to ensure what happened is never repeated. The Bonners wrote in part, quote, Camp safety is a critical nationwide need, and we will work tirelessly to ensure this never happens to another beautiful child again. Cece and Will Stewart, parents of 8-year-old Seal Stewart, who are suing to keep the camp closed as their daughter's body has still not been found, issued a more critical statement on Thursday, saying in part, what the Eastlands offered today was not accountability. It was not out of respect for our grieving families, nor because they wanted to do the next right thing. We have pled with them to stop since September. It was a calculated exit from a license they were about to lose. Last year, state lawmakers passed legislation on camp safety with overwhelming support from both sides of the aisle. And additional measures could come as a result of the committee hearings on the investigation.
So there are a lot of things that we have learned since last summer that we can incorporate in new legislation.
In a letter to parents, Camp Mystic informed them that camp will not be held this summer. In the letter, they wrote that the decision is, quote, stepping back is the right and responsible decision.